Hello and welcome to the Rinkside Review. Really glad to say that I've been joined today by Jared McIsaac. Jared, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you tell me about what your first memories of hockey are and how you got into the game?
Yeah, I think well, growing up in Truro, my dad was involved heavily in refereeing the junior A league and some of the college hockey at home. So I was always around the rink as a little kid, and then we had a pond, um, you know, not far from our house where we live. So 10-minute walk down to the pond during the winter and skating on the pond at home, or whether it was having a backyard rink. We had a backyard rink for a couple years when I was growing up as a kid. So um, very rarely was I not at the rink or on some form of ice. So and that all I can really remember growing up as a kid is being at the rink.
You mentioned referees. Your uncle is a pretty well-known referee, right?
Yeah, he's been going at it for quite a while now. He's based out of Virginia.
Hmm.
And he's been reffing in the NHL for quite a few years now. I don't want to put a number on it, but he's been, I mean, he ref with my dad growing up, and then up through the ranks to Q and QMJHL, and then um the East Coast AHL, and then he's where he's at now. So
As their referees, has that had an impact on how you play the game? Like, for example, do you have more sympathy for the referees and the quick decisions they have to make in the game, or is it difficult sometimes?
I think sometimes I bite my lip, um, knowing that that's the family part of the family business. And yeah, but I mean, they have a job to do just like us. And if I have a question, I ask my uncle or my dad every once in a while, but I try to lay off if I disagree or whatnot.
And can you talk us through your Bantam career?
Yeah, so I played my first year of Bantam in Dartmouth. Um and then the following year, I got exceptional status to play midget in Cole Harbour as an underager. Um, so that was kind of my bantam career, I guess, was my first year in Dartmouth, and then the second year I got moved up a level to play midget in Cole Harbour and to play for the Canada Games team.
And how was that experience?
It was great. Like there's a lot of people that pushed for me to have that status, to be able to play on the Canada Games team in Prince George, and I lots of people to thank for that, and the experience in Prince George was great. I think we had one of the highest finishes for a Nova Scotia team, and I can't remember now. So many years passed, but I think we finished fourth or fifth, maybe. Don't quote me on that, but no, we did really well for how small of a province we have compared to all the other bigger provinces.
Yeah, and when you were playing, I think midget hockey, did you go across and play in the Youth Olympic Games for Canada?
Yeah, we had it in it was in Norway, so I think it was my second year midget. Um, we went over to Norway, and that was kind of my first taste of international hockey. And I think we lost to Russia in the gold medal game in Norway. So it was that was kind of my first eye-opening moment, I guess, of international hockey and what the other countries look like, and how they play. And great experience, and I think it's great that they do that for the midget age kids, especially kind of grooming them for under 17s and the following year, it was an awesome experience.
And what did you notice the most in terms of the difference between the styles of play?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the bigger ice for sure. And I think the North American game is not as much puck control. I mean, you play with the puck, but I feel like the other countries, it's more a puck control game. If you don't like something, you're bringing it back, setting it up, or Not as much of a dump and chase game compared to what the North American style seems to be.
And after midget, you went to the QMJHL, the Q. What do you remember that stands out the most as kind of being the biggest moment for you in your Q career?
I think, well, I mean, playing with you play with lots of great players, play against lots of great players. I got to play with Nico Hischier my first year in Halifax, and he's in Jersey now, and Philip Zadina, um, a lot, and then playing against lots of players like that too. But I think the biggest moments, I think we hosted the Memorial Cup when I was 18 in Halifax. Just seeing the city, like I've never seen the city that jacked up for hockey. And Halifax is a great hockey town. Like the rink's always packed, but the noise that building made when we stepped foot on ice or stepped on the ice for the first period of the first game of the Memorial Cup, it was deafening. You couldn't hear the guy next to you on the blue line during national anthem. So that was it's up there for one of the coolest hockey moments for sure.
That's an amazing memory, I think. And I was going to ask about Nico Hischier and Philip Zadina because, of course, Hischier, he's gone on to have a top NHL career and he iced in front of the Czech fans at the Global Series the beginning of this season. Did you know when you played with him that he had that X factor even at that age?
I think you see with a lot of the imports that come in, especially to Halifax, that they have something in it. I think after Christmas, especially after World Juniors, when he played at World Juniors, 17-year-old that year, he came back and dominated um, every game. And, he was obviously our best forward at the time and our best player. And he just, when he picked up the puck, like he knew something was going to happen. Like we're going to get a grade A scoring chance or he was going to score himself. And that's really the biggest thing. Like he was always on it, and the puck just seemed to follow him around. Playing with him.
Yeah, he's a really great leader as well, and seeing how he conducted himself with the international fans at the global series was a real joy to watch. A proper leader, a true gentleman, and I think an all-round professional is the way I can describe him.
Yeah, he was great to play with. Great guy off the ice. Yeah, just a good human being. Great human being.
Yeah, and Philip Zadina as well. It was a bit of foreshadowing for your kind of NHL career in Detroit because he was drafted as well. Do you have a strong kind of friendship with him?
Yeah, we talk. I'll send him a message here and there, but kind of like to let those guys do their thing and not bother them, especially the guys that are playing in the National League. And
Mhm.
um, I obviously chat with them during camp and stuff like that in Detroit. But like I said, for the most part, the guys that I've played with that are playing, the majority of them that are playing in the NHL, I kind of let them do their thing and reach
Yeah,
out every once in a while.
yeah, he's had a brilliant start to this season as well in Switzerland. He's and this past weekend, I think he was named the player of the game for the Czech Republic. So he's playing with a lot of confidence right now, I think, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, I'm glad to see he's playing well in Switzerland, and I'm sure he's loving where he's playing too.
And can you talk us through your kind of Team Canada career? Because you've represented the team not only at the Youth Olympic Games, but at under 18 level, at under 20 level regularly. What was the highlight of it? And can you tell us about some of your teammates?
Well, I think the highlight of it would be winning gold at World Juniors here in Czech. Um, yeah, it's just like every time you represent Hockey Canada, it's special, and I think as you get older, the more you cherish it. Especially now, like looking back on it, like those are some of the best times that I've had playing hockey was at the World Juniors and U18s, and you get to see some of the world that you probably would never see otherwise. Um, I think we were in Pulp Brad for under 18s, the first time I went, and that was kind of like a wow, the fans here are unbelievable. You know, the I don't know if you guys call it, they call it tailgating over here before the games, where you're walking to the games and you know, the tailgate or whatever, they have the beer gardens open. You're like, oh, this is different than back home. Um, but yeah, I like I said, every time you play for Hockey Canada, it's an honor, and especially now looking back on it, like that's the best, you know, some of the most fun I've had playing hockey.
Yeah. And did you play one of those tournaments with a really bad shoulder? Did that come before or after one
Yeah,
of
I
the?
played my when I was 18 at the World Juniors, I played with my shoulder was kind of slipping in and out, subluxing the majority of the year, and then I had surgery the following summer after the World Juniors in Vancouver.
And you went on to recover from that. Then you had another surgery again. Was it on the same shoulder or a different one?
No, it was on the opposite shoulder. So it was pretty. Yeah, I played my 18-year-old year. I played the whole pretty well the whole I'd say three-quarters of the season with a banged up shoulder, and then we were hosting Memorial Cup that year, so I played through the shoulder stuff all year, and then had it done, and um, yeah, COVID. I went over to Finland in HPK,
Yep.
played one shift and hurt the other shoulder. So it was a yeah, it was a long. I went through a long span of not playing, you know, any games. My when I was 19, 20.
How did that move to Finland come about?
Well, I was after I was done rehabbing, we were trying to find a place to play because the queue was starting back up again, and I was going to be eligible to go back as a 20-year-old, and um, kind of hummed and hawed at it, going back to junior, and then you know, we thought the best route would be try to play pro right away, because I think the American League and the NHL was starting. It was a delayed start to the season, and they were already starting to play in Europe. So thought that I'd go over there for the season and play, and that was short. That was short lived. So
Can you talk us through the process of being drafted into the NHL? Because, of course, that's a huge career highlight for you, I'm sure, getting picked by Detroit so high up in the draft. What was the kind of pre-process like? The combine, the interviews, everything like that, that people don't usually get to see?
yeah, the combine. It was. I mean, you have so many meetings every day. So I think your meeting slot's 30 minute. You have 30 minutes with a team, or 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. And yeah, you have your schedule. It's, you know, pretty full. I think I met with 28, 29 teams at the combine. So your day is pretty hectic, and then you mix in the actual testing itself in there. So it's a pretty crazy week, with all the interviews and the testing, and then the draft process. So didn't really know like what to expect going into the draft. Obviously knew I was kind of ranked where I was, and thought maybe a couple other teams would be in the mix, but honestly didn't really have any expectations going into the draft. Kind of let it play out, and luckily enough, the next morning after the first round wasn't sitting too long, and Detroit picked me.
Can you walk us through the day of that draft? Did you have family, friends with you to experience it together?
Yeah, there was actually we had 30 people, 30 friends and family there in Dallas. They call it the McIsaac 30. So it's pretty cool to be able to share that with them. And my one of my best friends was there, which was super cool. And um, yeah, it was such a. I mean, looking back on it now, you cherish that stuff. And um, I remember it was so hot, like us Nova Scotians. like it was so hot that like some of my family were walking to the restaurants or whatever. They're like, can't go much longer. Like it's so hot in Dallas, being from the East Coast, you're in the water. So, um, yeah, like little things like that that stick out. And when I was drafted, just the big roar that they let out. I knew where I didn't know where they were sitting before. I certainly knew after I was picked.
And when you turned up for the first time at the Detroit kind of facilities, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think the first time I was there was development camp. I think it was 5 days right after the draft. So I didn't have any time to go back and see family or whatever. I kind of I think I went right from the draft to Detroit, I want to say. And no, Little Caesars is a beautiful arena. They got, everything there, and yeah, you name it. I mean, it's super, super nice facility.
Yeah, and how supportive of you were they when you had those shoulder problems as well? They must have had some really top physios there working with you, keeping you motivated, looking after the mental side of it as well. Because I imagine the mental side of it must have been probably even harder, I would imagine, than maybe the physical side.
Yeah, I think the first time I was just so eager to get back and play again and make sure I was ready. Well, one, the goal was to make sure I was ready for the World Junior Camp, um, my 19-year-old year, and then um, the second time around, it was like like, oh, well, here we go again. So I think the second rehab was a little bit more taxing mentally, um, and obviously being COVID, you couldn't really do a whole lot. So, but yeah, they were great. The rehab guys there, Pete and Russ, and the strength coach really made sure that I was in, obviously good enough to play shoulder wise, but in good shape physically as well. And um, yeah, I mean, two 2 years back to back, I'm sitting in on the rehab table. So they were great to me for that, and the skills coaches there as well, getting me back in shape on ice. Took really good care of me.
And you spent quite a lot of time with the affiliate team, the Grand Rapids Griffins in the AHL. You played there with a guy who will be familiar to a lot of Czech listeners now, Turner Elson.
Yes, yes.
Have you been in contact with him since he arrived in the Extraliga? And do you know any of the other guys around the league at all?
Yeah, I've been talking to Alex pretty frequently since he's got over here. Obviously he was asking me questions about the league, and um, well, I played with him for 2 years, I think.
Mhm.
So obviously pretty familiar with him, and it's nice to see that he's got off to a good start in Pilsen, and I think he's enjoying it. For the other question, I don't really know if I've played with or against many other guys in the league, to be honest. Everyone's pretty new to me. I think maybe the Kondalik fella in Pardubice now.
Yeah.
I think I might have played against him at World Juniors in Vancouver. Um, Kaut maybe World Juniors as well.
Mhm.
Uh, Played it. Oh, well, I played against Max Kachevich, who's on our team this year. Played against
Oh,
him in
yeah.
junior. He was in St. John, so he's a familiar face playing against him. Other than that, honestly, I'd have to go through the rosters to.
Maybe did you cross paths with Nicolas Baudin?
Yes, Bodeni. Yeah, I played against him in junior as well, and played with him potentially with Hockey Canada once or twice. Yeah, he's a good player. I think he's playing every time we've played him, he's looked really good, and um, good to catch up with him after the games.
Yeah, really smooth. He's a really smooth player, really good on the park. He's got that offensive awareness. He's also got that kind of he's smaller, but he's tough as well. So he's got that kind of that grit in his game as well to kind of complement the skill side.
Yeah, he's just smooth. all over, really good hockey IQ. He doesn't overcomplicate it, which can it's easy to do sometimes, but he seems to make, the right play pretty well every time.
And speaking of teammates, you won a gold medal with Team Canada in the under 20s alongside guys such as Bouchard, Suzuki, and Lafreniere. What was it like to be a part of that squad in particular?
Well, it's actually, I think that year we were in Vancouver,
Hmm.
um, and we lost. I think we lost in the quarterfinals that year. The next year
Oh,
would have been, yeah, the next year would have been Lafreniere and Cousins and who
yes.
else? Would have been
Mercer as well, maybe.
Mercer, yeah, Jamie Drysdale. There's a lot. The majority of that team is playing in the NHL, so I think that speaks to, the quality of players that we had and how good the team was that year.
And this is actually your third kind of stint playing for a club in Europe. You had a sort of 3 game spell in the Swiss National League last season for Ambri Piotta. How did
Yeah,
that move arise?
yeah, we were just trying to find a better place to play last year. Wasn't really playing a whole lot in Grand Rapids. Um, so we were looking at, finding a change for me, and nothing really came through North America for whatever reason, and um, they reached out and get over there and play a couple games, and then something opened up in Providence with the Bruins. So finished the year in Providence, and yeah, I think yeah, what'd you say? I think I only played 3 games over there, but
Yeah,
what a beautiful country that is.
yeah.
And they're really good to me there too, especially only being there for a month. But beautiful, beautiful country. We got to see a little bit of this of the country, obviously, and took the train into Milan a couple times and got to enjoy our time there, which was nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It is a really nice country. And did it come in handy knowing some French? Probably from your time in the queue. Of course, in Switzerland they speak a variety of languages, but certainly French is one of them.
Yeah, one of the well, I think like Ambry, I think that region is more Italian,
Yeah.
which is funny because it's super similar some of the words they say. So
Hmm.
we were out and about one couple days, and then like said to my fiance, like, I think they're speaking French, so I chime off a couple French words to them, and don't understand, so
Yeah.
um yeah, but it was great. Love that place.
Yeah, and it shows a really large level of adaptability on your part to, as a junior, go to like a French-speaking league, and then not be afraid to go over and play in Finland, and then try your luck in Switzerland, and now you're in the Czech Republic. I think it shows it's something in itself that isn't easy to do. You might find it second nature that you're kind of chasing a dream, but to be able to do that isn't something that all people can do.
Yeah, I think I just go in with, I'm going to play hockey. You know don't set any expectations on anything, and just try to enjoy it. It's especially, being able to come over and play and enjoy it and play a lot, and um, fortunate that, we have good imports on the team that we're able to hang around with. But yeah, just I'm, trying to make the most out of it and try to get to see a country I've never been to, and travel around. And yeah, like I'm really enjoying it. The show. I told you know my fiance Julia, we should have been collecting air miles the last couple
Yeah.
of years. We've been kind of all over the place, but it is what it is. It comes with pro hockey. That's how the game is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it must help as well to have teammates like Kevin Churchman, who I interviewed before. I mean, he's throwing himself in, trying his best to speak Czech. I saw him do an interview, I think, on one of the big kind of media sites and he was trying to speak in Czech and throwing himself right into that kind of thing. So it must be great to have a guy like that around, a really great character.
Yeah, I it'd be hard to find a better human being than that guy. He's an all-time guy.
Yeah.
Um, I remember when I got here, he's showing me around, taking me places, and if you need anything, just let me know. I'll help you out. But yeah, I think his Czech speaking ability is better than my French speaking ability now. So, and he's only been here for a year and a half, and I learned French, for 5, 6 years. So yeah, but he's an all-time guy. Love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is. And speaking of all-time people, I've got a load of messages from the Ropazzi on tour Instagram page who they really want to ask you a load of questions. So I've narrowed it down to some and then some quick fire ones to end with. So the
Sure.
first one, what motivated your decision to join Hartzer Verva Litvínov? And how do you feel about playing in the Czech Extraliga compared to North American leagues? So maybe what's different?
Yeah, well, I think they were super interested in getting me over here, and um, I thought it was a good fit for me, which it has been for sure. And the quality of hockey I think was the it was the right time for me to seek it out and come play and play a lot of minutes as well. And then I think the Czech league is a good league. Like it's a hard league. I think it's a little bit different than North America, with obviously you have some rinks that are bigger ice, and um, I think it's an older league for sure. Like there's the players are a little bit older compared to the American League. Is more of a development league, so you have a lot of younger kids coming in, and it's kind of mixed and matched that way. Um, yeah, but it's no slouch of a league. It's a tough league, um, and how close each team is every game. Like you look at the standings, every night someone is beating someone. It's tight games all the time, and the lower teams in the standings can beat the
Mhm.
top teams. So it's super tight all across the board.
Yeah, there's quality in every team. I think that's absolutely true. You can see that when you watch the league.
Yeah, for sure.
And what do you see as your biggest strength on the ice, and how do you think it complements Hartzer Litvinov's playing style?
Yeah, I think this year especially I've tried to go back to the way I used to play, which was, being more on the puck offensively, and um, joining the rush and playing with the puck. Um, and I think our the way our team's built, like it's speed, it's playing quick. So I think I complement that with my puck moving ability and my skating, and being able to, join the rush and make plays. And um, they've allowed me to do it, which has been really nice. And they've allowed me to play the way I can play. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, I think that we've really seen that out of you, like the excellent like two-way game and being good on both sides of the puck. That's something that's really stood out in your game. I think it's not a long shot to say that you've been one of, if not the premium defender in the whole league this year. So it's clearly suiting you and your players suiting the team. It seems to be a really nice fit.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's fit, really well, and it helps obviously in enjoying it, like and enjoying the game again. I think I lost it there for a little bit last year, just with not playing and kind of bouncing around. So it's nice to find the enjoyment out of the game again, and having success.
Yeah. What is it like to play with Andre Cachet?
And that guy's he's a bulldog. You know, he can turn it on in a second. There's not many guys that I think have that switch, and um, you know, he can turn it on, change the momentum or change the whole game in one shift. And him and his brother, it's top notch. I like the chemistry. It's you know, coming over here, and I knew of Andre, didn't really know much about David, and then you get in games with them, and you know, the chemistry is unmatched. I've never seen, you know, well, I don't think I've ever played with brothers that have had that type of chemistry before ever. Like they're on the same page 24/7. They're always looking for each other, and you know, they connect at least once or twice a game. Yeah, it's it's top notch.
Yeah, it really is, and it's even if you're not a fan of Litvinov, to watch those two, the way they work, the way they move, like it's just it is like telepathic understanding of movement. They know exactly where each other is going to be, and you I had this conversation with Kevin as well, like with Andre Cachet and his penalty shot, for example. You know what he's going to do, but can you stop it? I think
Yeah,
that's a different conversation. You know, it's like you can know what either of them are going to do, but you know, good luck to you if you can stop them.
yeah. I mean, we talk about their offense, but like they're blocking shots on the penalty kill,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know, at the end of the games, they're out there doing the dirty stuff too. So you know, they play both sides of the rink, and like I said, the chemistry is ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Had it not been for injuries, I think we would have seen them both like in the NHL legitimately, probably for the mainstay of most of their career.
yeah. I mean, Andre was you know top player on or was playing top nine, sorry, and on the teams he played with. So it's no coincidence why he played in the NHL and still good.
How is your Czech going? Do you have a favorite Czech word?
Um, yeah, I kind of pick it up here and there. Do I have a Czech word? I don't know. I don't really know if I have a favorite Czech word that I can talk about, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to choose, I think.
We'll we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, there's a lot of tongue twisters. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you can like go, was it struch or something? It's like put your fingers in my throat, and there's no vowels in any of it. So it's just it sounds a bit like starting up a car on a winter's morning when you do that. It's just it's not.
Yeah, the cold start.
Yeah, exactly like a lawnmower. Did you and Kevin know each other before you came to Litvinov?
No, we didn't. He reached out when we Litvínov started approaching us about possibly coming over here, and then you know, obviously that was a huge factor of me coming over here is having another English guy on the team, and
Mhm.
um, a Canadian at that, which was awesome. And you know, I was firing him text, you know, what's it like, what's the team like, the city, and all that. And um, you know, he helped me a lot through the first couple weeks, and you know, he's still showing us stuff. Anytime we go to a restaurant, he's always translating for us what the waitresses are saying and whatnot. So he's great.
Yeah. And we've got another one. What's your favorite place in Litvinov? The stadium does not count.
Favorite place in Litvinov? Um, I would say Cafe Cassis. Good
Hmm.
coffee. We like to go there and you know, have coffee, ledova kava,
Yeah, yeah.
iced coffee, and Some good pastries there too.
Yeah, very wise to say your favorite coffee and pastry on here. So if you see Jared out in the cafe, don't hesitate to go over and buy him one, especially if he gets a couple of goals, assists, and helps out with a win. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite celly? Interesting question.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's just spur of the moment, whatever. Uh, Nothing pre-planned when you
Yeah.
score. You kind of just do whatever.
And how do you feel about the Czech Extraliga? Is there anything that surprised you?
Yeah, I think just, the quality of the hockey, like it's like I said earlier, it's super, super tight throughout the league. I think that was one of the bigger things that surprised me was how close the league is in the standings. And um yeah, it's just quality hockey and um how friendly too, like how friendly the Czech people have been since I've been over here.
And do you still have any thoughts about playing in the NHL?
Yeah, obviously for sure. Like,
Mhm.
would love to get back to North America and play, but at the same time, if that call doesn't come or whatnot, like, I enjoy my time over here.
Yeah, of course, it's every player's dream, isn't it, to reach the pinnacle of whatever sport you're in. It's absolutely, growing up in Canada as well, it's of course that's going to be the dream to chase, right? Until the day that everything's finished in the
Yeah,
playing career. Good.
absolutely.
And I think that we can finish off with just a couple of quick fire questions to know a little bit more about you. So what do you like to do in your spare time away from the ice?
Yeah, so recently we've been traveling a little bit. Try to get out and see Prague. We've been to Prague a couple times. Karlovy Vary, Dresden. Over the break we went to Rome. So trying to enjoy as much as try to get out and enjoy some of the cities, and obviously Germany and Italy, and lucky enough to be able to do that with the breaks here.
What's the best advice you've ever received from a coach or a teammate?
Hmm. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Um, Best advice. I would say, when I was in Detroit, or during camp, and he would come down to Grand Rapids, Mike Barwis. He would always say, "No bad days, no bad days."
Mhm.
That was just his motto. Never having a bad day. Um, so I think that's a really good one.
Who's the funniest teammate you've ever played with?
Funniest teammate. Um, Played with Joel Bishop. I think it's a toss-up. Joel Bishop and Cooper Jones in Halifax.
Mhm.
With my time there, they were hilarious together.
Yeah.
Always cracking it up, and um, yeah, lots of funny times with those guys.
Yeah. Do you stay in contact with them both to this day?
Yeah, I talked to Bish a little bit. He was actually going to school in Halifax, St. Mary's. So yeah, shoot him a message every once in a while. Jonesy a little bit here and there. He's in the States now. I think he's playing pro in the East Coast League. So he's both of them are super busy, and yeah.
From the perspective of being on the ice, how important have the fans been in your success this season?
Yeah, I think they're a huge part of obviously our team success, and individual, like you get fired up when they're, especially for me being from coming from the American League. The chants aren't there's nothing that compares to it in the American League. So I think they fire you up, makes you want to play your best, and it's super enjoyable being able to play with that kind of noise in Yavin Holinka Stadium.
And the final question, and this is going to be the final question I ask from now on in almost every player podcast, I think. If you could trade places with one teammate for a day, who would it be and why?
Probably Zaida right now, our goalie. He
Great answer.
is, yeah, he's on a roll right now, and he's giving us a chance to win every night, and he's seeing the puck really well, and um, yeah, tell him to keep on kicking every game. So
Yeah, he's an absolute brick wall at the moment. Completely unbeatable. I think it's been 3 games in a row, including the international game he had where he hasn't conceded a goal, 95 saves, something like that. It's an incredible run of form.
yeah, he's playing really well, and see it in practice too. He's tough to score on in practice, and he battles extremely hard, and um, yeah, I like enjoy playing with him. You know, we were talking, some of us imports were talking about the other day, like I don't know if I've seen a goalie like command the net so well like he does. Like he's always in the right position. He seems to be when he's down and out, he seems to make the big saves, and he's up there with some of the best goalies I've played with for sure.
Yeah, and he's still only young as well. He's 23. And I think like you say, I watched his positioning very closely in the last couple of games, especially the one that I managed to get down to. And it's he as he reads the game so well. I think that's what he manages to kind of, his rebound control is great. His read of the game is good. He sees the puck well, like you say, and he's just absolutely lights out right now. He's got a really, really strong future in the game. And I think he's probably one name that maybe people don't know outside of the Czech Republic that could really make some waves in North America in the coming years, if everything goes his way.
I certainly think so, and hopefully he continues to play um, the way he is, and who knows what can happen. But I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised, if he has offers, to go to North America, just with the way he's playing. It's stellar the way he's playing right now.
Jared, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I wish you all the best for the rest of the season, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you in a rink soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.